But it was interesting to watch the Fitzroy players just before the game, a very tight huddle. They looked fired up for this game, and Manson hit hard right from the word go. And, well, don't underestimate Fitzroy's chances here. The hand pass through Paxman goes to Baldwin. Baldwin half-back flank outer side, up towards centre wing. John McCarthy, number 25. Playing in the gloves in fine conditions. The hand pass, though, is intercepted by Murillo, and his hand pass is poor. It's just kept in there by Kickett. Further work up the ground. It finishes up with Ben Allen. He runs inside the 50, pokes it up short. Delaney, a good half-volley pick-up, but an excellent tackle. And Fitzroy are going to come out of it. Paxman, straight up to Atkins. Still inside the 50 defensively. The hand pass a bit wide, taken by Pike, former Melbourne player. Kick by Martin Pike for distance. Oh, an excellent mark is taken by Jared Malloy. 3 goals last week against Carlton. Boyd up towards the forward pocket. Scooped off the ground by Chisholm. Big spider Burton. Madigan. Burton kept going. Great football.
Amazing play from the big fellow as Burton gives it to Mann. Back to Burton in the 1-2. He's had 3 possessions. Now under pressure. Looking for Leach on the inside, but McCarthy steals it beautifully. Hits it across to Bird. Bird back into the middle towards centre-half forward. Murillo attacks it and attacks it well. Back, tries to set up play through the middle. Well read by Baldwin. Falls to Allen. And unfortunately, a free kick has been given by Callaghan to Baldwin, just as Ben Allen started to scoot away. We go out wide to Frank Pizzotto. Pizzotto being pressured by Retzlaff. Needs help. Kickett's there to help. Atkins comes. Oh, fantastic skills from Kickett. Sets it up to Burrows. Burrows has got the running players all bounces once, twice. Now Durkay will certainly kick a goal from here. And the first one for the Fremantle side. So Gary Durkay, the goal kicker, gets the first on the board for Fremantle.
And they did it so very well, the ability there to be able to win the ball in the midfield and then generate the run. The ball given, the block provided, and then the run. And Gary Durkay ends up here kicking the goal. And it's excellent work in that they had the space in the forward line for him to be able to run into. 3 last week, getting the first one here today, a good start for him.
And what Fitzroy will be guarding against is making a slow start, which has been a feature of their recent games when they've been blown away in the first quarter, and the game's nearly been all over from there. But here's Baldwin running onto a bouncing ball. Hawking, ball gets behind him. Well, the hand pass defensively. Hawkins a chance, goes to ground, just inside the boundary line. Malloy prepared to concede some ground, but the kick is smothered off his boot, and the Dockers have it. Allen. No, it's Retzlaff. Up towards the centre of the ground. Oh, the kick missed the target. Zanotti charged straight at it. Mark Zanotti back home in Perth today. And look at this. There's plenty of space for Lamb just outside the 50. Into Manson. I don't know that he was the man. McGovern. At centre half back, it's taken by Retzlaff. Plenty of distance with his kick towards the outer wing. Durkay after it. With him is Stretch, and the ball out of play.
Drew, just some of the key matchups in the centre of the ground. Retzlaff has Atkins in the centre. Bizzotto has Allen and Delaney and Zanotti at half-back.
Viewers in Melbourne, look at that temperature and weep. Expecting 20 degrees here.
It is magnificent weather. Great condition, great ground. As the players from that boundary throw-in pounce upon it. And Keith Callaghan, umpire number 33, elects to bounce. John Harvey and Dennis Rich, the 2 with him today. Burton trying to get the front spot, leans over, and working hard on the ground is Martin Pike. So Andrew McGovern gets up a bit weary. It's early stage of the game. Pretty warm conditions, beautiful conditions. McGovern does it well to Callaghan. He just sets up Durkay, and the running Kickett. Kickett just takes them all on. Bounces his way around, now loses the footy after some pressure from Manson, which was excellent. He butters up. Now Zanotti breaks clear, has a look, stops, and then kicks towards Pike. And Pike, with very good hands, marks well out in front. Squeals around, back to centre-half forward. Leading in the race to the ball is now Chisholm. Oh. Chisholm can't get hold of it. Almost a free kick there. You'd think the umpire was right there. 2
Fitzroy players clashed with each other, and Malloy is down.
Yes, Madigan gives it off to Leach. Once again, the ball not bouncing on this ground. It does take a good throw into it. Kicks in the full forward spot. Big jump in front. Can't be taken. Manson back there and gets grabbed high and will take the free kick 30 metres away from the Fremantle goal.
Very important for Charles Manson to continue to get back there to assist his defenders. With Burrows and Groom being the taller attacking players for Fremantle, Manson's height is necessary.
Number 28 is Doyle, playing in his first game, 21-year-old. Delisted by Carlton, played about 100 reserves games. Centre of the ground, it's overrun by Baldwin near the centre circle. He fires out the hand pass to Lamb. Up the ground, they work it pretty well here. Finishes up with Boyd. His hand pass out in front. Here's a big chance for Fitzroy. Bizzotto, and Bizzotto for goal. Gets it.
There's a lot going on in the world. Gets busier every day. Doing your job, having a say. Taking your mark or just finding your way. But it's nice to know there's a place to go. At the bar. You're always right at home. At the bar. You never feel alone. At the bar. You're never on your own. 'Cause it's all going on at a bar near you.
So both sides now on the score. Boyd gets hold of the ball in the centre, sets up Atkins, and from a standing start kicks it out wide. Murillo leading in the race, Pike with him. Pike taps it over the top, now has to cover, tries to get back round. Murillo's going to get help there first, and it comes in the form of Retzlaff. Back to Murillo, kick it. They're really starting to run to Burton. He'll surely give it back to McGovern. McGovern now running towards goal, kicks long, terrific penetrating kick, and a beautiful mark there taken by Chris Groom. So the young player, former Crows, South Adelaide player, handballs on quickly. Into the goal square goes Delaney, and Delaney, I think, has missed. In fact, hit the post. So really what should have been a certain goal was a disappointing finish there from the Fremantle players, and in particular, young Delaney.
Yeah, should have made more of that. Kick in by Paxman is beautiful to John McCarthy, who marks about 65 metres out from goal. McCarthy again goes long. Pike comes from behind and claims the mark. Martin Pike was a good goal kicker late in the season last year for Melbourne. Here's kick inside the 50. Hawking gets underneath it. Hawkins is there, close to the boundary line. The veteran tunnels it back, working in close quarters there. And the umpire eventually will have to throw it in. And
that's certainly Doug Hawkins' best spot, in the forward pocket, where any possession he gets, he can be extremely dangerous and perhaps kick the goal that Fitzroy are looking for. Docker's hot favourites, Fitzroy 3-1 to win their third game of the season. Boundary throw in, the ball comes underfoot. There's the Hawk, the veteran, outside of his foot, and it's out in front of goals. And the hand pass comes out here to Gilbert. Phil Gilbert off the left. It's going very wide to Delaney. In fact, out of bounds on the full, and Zanotti will take the free kick. Just enough from Jared Malloy there, whether he's shouting and letting the opponent know he was there, but a good chase.
So Zanotti with the kick from the boundary line finds Baldwin in a lot of space. Swings round onto his left foot. Ridley in best spot in front, almost takes the mark. On the ground is Gilbert. Players coming over the top of the ball, and the ball will be bounced some 40 metres away from the Fitzroy goal. 1-2 Fremantle, leading Fitzroy 1 goal. Just over 12 minutes to go in this first quarter. It's been pretty open so far. Burton taps it back. Callaghan in underneath, and is held by Pike, who's done some hard work underneath the packs. Strange trends in the different way the teams play. Fremantle have taken just 1 mark, but they've had 21 handballs to 10. So they're really running it and sharing the ball. Yes, they certainly do that. Coming over the top is Doyle into the path of Baldwin. Baldwin kicks, and he too misses from some 15 metres out, certainly under pressure, but he'd be also disappointed with that finish. Well, just squared the ledger, so to speak, with Delaney's miss at the other end, and that one both inexcusable, and both boys should have made better of those opportunities. Brett Cook, the ruckman, looked as though he just got himself off the bench. Looked as though he might be coming on, but the 3 interchange just going for a jog for Fitzroy. As Chisholm takes the kick in, doesn't find the target. The awkward half volley is a bit of a chance here. Lamb gets the hand pass, but it's blocked. Goes to Callaghan, and it's all Fremantle up the ground. And the Lions were all attacking, and they've got caught here. Retzlaff gets the ball away to McGovern. Retzlaff's been a good player. And they're just 2 of them running down the ground. They can fumble 5 times if they like. Andrew McGovern
gets around Zanotti. A cross in front of goals is perfect, and Durkee takes the mark and should get his second goal.
Yes, you really have to throw that bounce in, Terry, don't you?
You do, and the disappointing part for me was that the pressure from behind from the Fitzroy players had all dropped off, and the opportunity was there to snaffle when the bounce didn't come back, but they had decided to pull out too early.
Gary Durkee for his second and the third goal of the match, but he sprayed it right. A slight breeze into his face, but really no reason for missing from there.
As we look on with the Fremantle bench there, young McManus and Jeff White, the youngster from Victoria, drafted first last year. Just getting his first taste of league football. Paxman kicks in, finds Manson. He has to stand and wait, Manson. He's under enormous pressure now. The Fremantle players converge on him. Back to Durkee. Can he make up with another one? But unfortunately, he's actually pushed it wide and out of bounds. So just the kicking there put Manson under enormous pressure.
He's got a full house, Durkee. A goal, a behind, and one out of bounds.
So here we go. Dent races out the back. In some tight work. Really does make the teammates work. And McCarthy takes a terrific pass. Mark off the stretch. Stretch doing a bit of what Dockus does. Fantastic chase from behind by Durkee. Really was worth it. There's been a free kick given, and it'll go back to Durkee. I don't know if that was the holding ball or not, Terry. I didn't
The signal was a bit of a throw.
Yeah,
Dennis Rich.
might have been, yeah. Murillo actually has to wait as it goes over his head, then does it very well. Oh, look, they really are setting up beautifully at the moment to Retzlaff. Lowish kick, almost controlled by Dent. Off to Chandler, and the ball goes out of bounds. Right in the forward pocket for Fremantle. 1-3, Fitzroy trailing 1-1.
Durkee certainly started the better of he and Stretch, and I think Bernie may need to look at that matchup.
So Manson in ruck with Groom. Groom taps it down beautifully to Delaney. Delaney shoots, and once again has missed for his second point in probably 3 minutes.
Retzlaff's proved a bit of a problem. He's had 5 possessions already. Retzlaff, who had earlier in his career 3 games with the Eagles and 15 for the Bears. He's certainly been around for a short career of 23 games. Steve Paxman. 10-7 Fremantle lead, but they've had 5 shots to 2. Zanotti is there to punch up the ground. He's got to go and robe his own footy. He's done it well. They've got that ball nearly to centre wing with 1 kick in and a punch on. And Mark Zanotti has had a terrific season in 1995, way up there in the possessions in the competition. Manson number 30 against Burton 24. Didn't Burton have the advantage in height? Here's Zanotti again, centre of the ground. Baldwin, and Chisholm leaps all over the top of him. Chisholm it was. Hand pass up the ground. Atkins hacks the ball out of the air, finishes up with Baldwin, comes out wide to Malloy. Open half-forward line for Fitzroy. Well, it gets to the back, and Ridley for Fremantle. Towards centre wing. And good play, gets the ball up the ground from Leach to kick it. Here's Peter Mann. Cannot grab it, takes it defensively. Madigan, Allen. Towards the outer side, and here they have the numbers. And Callaghan, Retzlaff, McGovern, they've been carving them up down the outer side. Here's Craig Callaghan. His hand pass is partly blocked. Durkee's been dangerous. 5 kicks already, but this one is beautifully chopped off, and the mark taken by Lamb.
Yes, Lamb goes out wide. Chisholm is committed to the ball and goes underneath. It falls to Baldwin, sizes it onto his left foot. The kick is slightly scruffy, but it actually gets through the players. Coming through hard is Hawkins, knocks the ball off the ground. But it actually goes back to the Fremantle players, and they set it up with Murillo. So Murillo at centre-half back, forced to play on, now has to chip, and unfortunately, under pressure, is chipped to Hawking. Hawking also goes long. Running hard at the footy now is Doyle. Doyle and Kickett. Kickett goes to ground. Doyle also, great contest there to help out as Murillo and the Fremantle side get themselves out of pressure to the big fella in Burton, and Burton bounces his away.
You wonder how come this bloke's been dropped so often during this season. He looks like a cult figure and a really good player every time I've seen him. And here's Retzlaff going again. Out of the middle towards half-forward. Good spoil put on by McCarthy. Stretch at full stretch. Baldwin grab when he didn't have the ball. Free kick to Jason Baldwin. Lions making a contest of it. 3 points the difference. The Dockers in front. And we're midway through the first quarter. Over a century of AFL games. Baldwin up towards half forward. And Pike taken out of it pretty easily there and will take a free kick. Very open forward line for Fitzroy. Kick by Pike is not great. Very low. Here's Hawking. Outside the 50 now, Hawking. Chisholm loses it. Pike again gets the hand pass. Hawking. Left foot kick. Plenty of distance. Malloy's there. It might be through for a goal. Hawking.
Allow us to highlight a few of the Mitsubishi Verada's features. The Mitsubishi Verada V6 XI.
So the Lions leading now by 3 points. Burton cleverly to Callaghan, robbed of the footy, and Bird breaks away with his right foot, kicks it out very wide. Ridley first there, taps the ball towards the boundary line. Hawkins battles terrifically, comes back to Pike. Oh, this can be set up here. Pike to Baldwin. Baldwin has to kick around the corner. Malloy with the sit, and he's pushed off, and Madigan will get the free kick. Terrific work there by Malloy, Terry. I just thought he might have got away with that.
Yeah, he was just caught. He pushed forward, looking for the short pass, but when they came along, he had to come back and check the opponent, Greg Madigan.
So Quinton Leach sets up Dale Kickett in this now famous style of the Dockers. He runs through. Guess who's going to end up with this? Perhaps McGovern. Really sat on there by Atkins. The ball socket off the ground by Zanotti. Baldwin first there. Dockers players around him. And the players, no, he actually works it out, Baldwin, does it pretty well. Kick, great kick to Hawking. Coming across his Chisholm with courage. And the ball, once again, is held in. And the umpire's just letting it go a bit, which is terrific, I reckon. Just gives all the players a bit of a chance.
Just under 6 minutes to quarter time. And the Lions by 3 points. Spider Burton to the interchange bench. Manson wins in the middle. And a free kick given away against White, who's just come on the ground and straight away gives the free to Manson. Now, the man on the mark is 51 metres out. Killer Manson hasn't been, well, his kicking hasn't been the highlight of his career. This is not bad. Atkins, who dropped into the hole and they left him go. Now, it'd be hardly anybody in football who would know the game of Simon Atkins better than Terry Wheeler, who's right here.
Oh, yeah,
odds on him kicking this.
Yeah, Simon will kick this. Not a problem.
Right in front, 45 metres out, goal.
Inexperienced workers are too often blind to the dangers of their jobs. They're sent in without the training to do their work safely. And without training, accidents are more likely to happen. It's time we all opened our eyes to the value of training. Don't let their first day be their worst day.
Simon Atkins with the quick kick out the centre. Malloy comes at it hard and contests well. Falls to kick it. And here we go with his customary play out wide and sets up Retzlaff. So Brendan Retzlaff now looking inside to Murillo. And the ponytail Jamie Murillo has to fight his way back. Comes back into the White direction. And the young fella stands his ground very well indeed and takes a terrific mark. The lead is on from Groom and Mann. Both of them are there. Mann will go for it. It's over the back to Durkay. The exciting Gary Durkay can't get hold of it as McCarthy sockets the ball off the ground and out of bounds, some 30 metres around from the Fremantle goal.
Dale Kickett has just come off to get some attention on his calf, and Andrew Wills has taken his spot on the ground.
So boundary throw in. Manson against Groom. Cleverly, Boyd kicks it away. Oh, Leach does very well under enormous pressure from Peter Bird. Tackled his Burrows and slung off the footy, and the ball ends up out with Doyle with a terrific handball. Atkins quickly onto his boot. Murillo cuts it off, stops, props, comes back through the middle. Other players protect him. Now goes back to centre half forward. and using his body well is James Manson, and takes an excellent mark.
The hand pass goes out wide to Baldwin. His kick up towards centre wing, and Lamb takes the mark. We've got Dwayne Lamb on the boundary line, and here's Wayne Lamb for Fitzroy. Couple of bounces through the middle. Kick by Lamb to centre half forward. Hawking comes late, but a good mark is taken in defence by Chisholm. Out to centre wing, and Callahan. His kick is perfect to Peter Mann. Will's just on the ground for the Dockers, had to wait for the hand pass. Centering kick is good. McGovern, good spoil by Baldwin, and into the path of Bird. It was going to be a free kick. Advantage. Hawking, chest mark, centre half forward, a long way out.
Hawkins really giving him a focal point. He's quite prepared to lead long and hard.
Doug Hawkins leading one way then the other, and Hawking thumps it as long as he can. The veteran, the Hawk is there, waits at the back, off the hands and into the post for a behind. And it's 20 points to 10, the Lions in front.
Yeah, it's just 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Chisholm kicking the ball in. Has McManus coming onto the ground by himself right on the 50-metre line, and he kicks it very well to that player. McManus long to Retzlaff. They've worked this pretty well. Retzlaff inside to Ben Allen. Ben Allen bounces once. He really does need to finish his kicking off, and they do kick long and wild and often to Burrows. Caught again. Gets his boot the ball. Somehow rolls towards the goal, and just caught off by McCarthy. And McCarthy goes out wide with a beautiful kick to Bird. Unfortunately can't control it. Then under pressure has to kick quickly. Malloy under the siege from players to Chisholm through his legs. Pushing the ball forward is Simon Hawkins, had a very good first quarter, and jumping on top of the ball is Greg Madigan. So 52 metres out from the Fitzroy goal, and Fitzroy leading by 10 points. So let's just go down to the boundary and report on Dale Kickett.
Yes, Dwayne Lamb, the boundary rider here, not the footballer. Yeah, Kickett, he's just gone to get some tape, re-taped. He's got a problem with his ankle. It's been ongoing, and it's just worrying him at the moment, but he'll be back on shortly.
From Dwayne Lamb to Wayne Lamb, and Lamb kicks to full forward. Pike is there. The punch is disciplined from Murillo at the back. Pike is poleaxed by actually a former teammate from Melbourne. That was interesting. Gilbert got him. Chisholm, a hand pass to Wills. Wills going nowhere. The ball is going out. Now, two Melbourne teammates for the last couple of years, and they met head on, and Pike has come out definitely worse off. A lot of players around this boundary throw in. White for Fremantle. Bird, socks down. Number 41 for Fitzroy. Ball held to him, says the umpire, and umpire John Harvey comes in and will ball it up. John Harvey doing his 45th game today. Keith Callahan his 31st. Dennis Rich, the experienced man today, he's doing his 202nd, and he's one of only 4 over 200 in the umpiring list. Atkins taken off the ball. Murillo a hurried kick. Allen did well to get the ball away and then soccer the ball off the ground away from Bizzotto. Zanotti's back there. McCarthy puts it out in front of teammates. Mann does well to get back for the Dockers. Well done by Peter Mann. Wins the free kick. Gets it to Durkay, who's been a problem. Durkay to Winston Abraham. Wide he goes. Setting a task for Burrows. Delaney with his pace runs onto it. 30 metres out. Back towards goal, but across the face and through for a behind. And he's kicked 3 points, Delaney, in the first quarter.
Well, it's been a good return, though. He's looking very dangerous, and if he can straighten up, it'd certainly be for the benefit of the side. But Tony Delaney, his pace, quite invaluable in these conditions.
So just as we count the clock down now to this first quarter, they work it out of the pocket into Atkins. Simon Atkins with a terrific kick to Pike. Pike stretches for it and marks very well low down. So Martin Pike seems to have recovered from that heavy knock from Gilbert. Sitting behind Malloy, just read that beautifully. Madigan was pushed underneath it. Really lost the track of the flight of the ball. And a very important kick now on quarter time by Jared Malloy. He's kicked 18 goals for the season. And he's an improving type. So from 35, 40 metres out, Jared Malloy kicks. I think he's just pushed it across to the right. Nevertheless, a point. So Fitzroy move on to 3-3-21. Fremantle 1-5. So the margin's 10 points in favour of Fitzroy at quarter time.
Well, they did very, very well there. To concede the first goal, come back and kick the next 3 and lead by 10 points. That is the best position they've been in at quarter time for a long, long time. Well done, the Lions, and we'll be back here soon.
It's all down to Oran Park.
Here, and straight away Fitzroy into attack, and they get to the front edge of the square, but there they come to a halt. And Dennis Rich takes it back and will ball it up again. A lot of players around this ball up. Manson with a long run at Burton, and it comes to Baldwin, who kicks to full forward. Hawking caught just a little bit behind. Gilbert the hand pass out. Chisholm bowled over by Lamb. Lamb bowled over by McManus, and the tackle was high. Lamb a free kick.
A fair call from the umpire then. It was just too crude by Sean McManus in on Lamb, who was the early player into the contest.
Wayne Lamb, who had a couple of games at Melbourne, finished up at Fitzroy in the swap deal with Marcus Seacamp. About 40 metres out, close to the boundary line, into a slight breeze. Not a bad kick, it's coming back. By gee, that's close. Great goal. Well, Fremantle kicked only 1 at that end in the whole of the first quarter, and Fitzroy have got 1 the first minute of the second.
Yeah, if there was an end favoured by the breeze, it is to right of screen, the end that now the Dockers are going to. So this is a very important goal for Fitzroy. They've now kicked the last 4 goals in the game and have really taken a little bit of a stranglehold over the situation.
So a 16-point margin to Fitzroy, and Fremantle really do have to do something from here. Great tap down to Allen. Throws it onto the boot and wobbles it forward. Zanotti reads it beautifully across the back, and on his left foot goes straight for the boundary line. Brad Boyd first there, and he's pretty comfortable to run it out in front of McManus. But great defence there again from Mark Zanotti. So boundary throw in, 75 metres around from the Fremantle goal. Goes through all players. Trying to get in underneath Manson almost. Atkins, terrific quick kick. He does that very well. The ball falls back to Pike. It's besieged by Callaghan to Lamb. Trying to give it off and virtually just hands it to Peter Doyle. First gamer. And he walks it over the line. So Dale kick it there. And Jeff White on the Fremantle bench. Oh, Callaghan is absolutely sandwiched in that lot, and a quick kick by Doyle just falls inside the line. So Fitzroy have doped it pretty well from that foray forward by Fremantle. They've just edged it round the boundary line, probably 100 metres, in some pretty unfashionable footy, but very effective. So Malloy, Burton, taps it down to Callaghan, off to Retzlaff. Retzlaff back to Callaghan. This is the bouncing that we're all getting used to now. There'll be a record number of bounces today. I've got no doubt about that at all. And in fact, terrific play there. He must finish off now, but he kicks it to Zanotti, and Zanotti gets the free kick. That's the problem, I think, with that sort of footy, Terry. If you're going to bounce, you've got to finish off.
Yes, you do. A little bit of an undisciplined play there from Tony Delaney once he interfered with Mark Zanotti and should not have done so, and giving away what was a very good forward thrust.
Yeah, spoiled a good build-up. A kick by Zanotti out towards half-back flank. Good spoil by Wills on Baldwin. Durkay, who was prominent in the first quarter. Oh, great play. Delaney just outside the 50. Now, Allen just took his opponent straight across the mark, and if that wasn't a similar situation to the Jim Steins incident in 1987, I've never seen it. The umpire didn't play anything. Manson gets the hand pass to Baldwin. Baldwin going to ground, finds Zanotti. Zanotti's kick out towards centre wing. Chisholm leading the race here over Lamb. And the ball out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in centre wing. Delaney goes off the ground, and Dale Kickett is back on. Burton is there with Manson. I'm not sure who I'd give it to there. Manson, Jimmy they call. Atkins is there. Atkins and Retzlaff are opponents, and they both had plenty of the ball. Atkins has had 8 and Retzlaff has had 9.
Yes, and 300 bounces. So on the wing.
I'll leave you to count them for the day.
Manson follows up to Atkins. Sets up McCarthy beautifully. Kicks it to centre half forward. Players have to sit underneath this. Almost take it. Malloy recovers best. Hawking was good in that contest. Atkins tries to unload it. Running onto it is Lamb, who kicked that wonderful goal early in the quarter. Going to ground is Durkay behind him. In fact, it's Chisholm. And Lamb's quite happy to see it over the line. So almost on the 50-metre arc. Fremantle, Fitzroy into attack. So Burton has a nest of players on that side of the pack. Murillo's besieged, gives it to Doyle, and Doyle kicks to Hawking as Gilbert went back for the kick. The kick dropped short, and Simon Hawking.
Been good, hasn't he, Hawking?
Yes, he's just kicked 3 goals for the year, and only 5 in his career, and he could have 2 in the first quarter and a bit.
He's only played about half the games. He's been dropped and played 11 games now out of 18.
Yeah, played a lot in defence. So the move by Bernie Quinlan, which he spoke about with you guys before the game, he kicks and kicks their 5th goal.
I love you, darling. I love you forever.
McDonald's triple cheeseburger. 3 all-beef patties, 3 delicious slices of cheese with pickles, ketchup, mustard and onions. It's about as cheesy as you can get.
The Mitsubishi Grand Final Sale is now on. That means free on-road costs plus 2 years free scheduled service on Magna Sedan and Wagon. So, see your local participating dealer today and score a great deal on a new Mitsubishi.
Big lead to the Lions. This is an unusual situation for them. Can they hang on? Are they front runners? Atkins might have taken a free. No whistle, but it comes out to Baldwin. His kick outside the centre square. It's tapped back by Malloy, but a fumble by Manson. He's regained it, gets it onto the right boot. Classical looking kick up towards the 50. And a beautiful mark taken by Ridley, streaming up out of defence. Across the ground he goes, and look at the space here, Retzlaff. Well, Atkins and Retzlaff just running off each other and winning kicks at will. Kick by Retzlaff into Burton, who had the height in front of Manson. And a 25-metre hand pass is perfect football. Callaghan off the left and has kicked a wonderful goal. You don't get set up much better than that.
The wonderful part was Burton there. Don't they have a great degree of confidence in the big man? They're all quite prepared to give it to him. He provides something across the half-forward line and we're able to take the mark and feed off. Callaghan finding the space, and that's the thing about the Dockers. They'll transfer the ball from one side of the ground laterally across to the other, looking for that runner, and he was there on that occasion.
Yes, 9 touches to Craig Callaghan now. He really is an impressive type. Centre bounce. Much needed goal there by Fremantle as Fitzroy just eked out a bit of a margin that was starting to get a bit worrisome. So very important goal. So almost back in the centre again. Burton with the height advantage, falls to Boyd. The kick's partly smothered. Kicker trying to control it, does now. Well shepherded by Murillo. He sets up Callaghan with a... here's some more bouncing. This is where they must finish off with a kick. Even chipping a short pass is probably better than doing what this is. Someone needs to be very special in the air, and unfortunately that's gone out of bounds. And I really do think, Terry, that's just something they need to add to their game.
Tis Malcolm, I would like to apply a rule perhaps to the Dockers. If they run across the centre of the ground, across the wing and bounce in the forward line, they're going for goal. And so everyone knows exactly what will occur rather than just this long bomb.
Yeah, sure. McCarthy over the top and belts it out of bounds.
Well, we've just seen Callaghan kick a great goal. He's had 10 possessions, but Baldwin playing on him's had 15. So some interesting matchups going on here. Ground level, a real scrap. Callaghan can't keep it in, and we'll have a throw in.
I'd just like to see the Fitzroy defenders standing a little bit tighter on their opponents here. We're not far from goal, only some 20 metres, and I'd really have them arm on arm.
Man gets rid of Manson and snaps for goal. Out of bounds on the full, didn't score anything. Man and son of man there. An interesting contest.
Ball's kicked back into play towards Manson, but Burton, very disciplined from behind, thumps it back out of bounds and gives the Fremantle forwards another chance.
Certainly doesn't want to allow his brother back into the side, does he?
Yeah, it's interesting contest between the two brothers. Man in front, Manson from behind. Punch forward, and I think that Peter Mann will get a free kick here. James Manson's not happy about it. The only thing I can say about that he was in front, Peter Mann.
And you can't argue when you do take that position. So there it is, and James's left hand just takes him across the shoulder.
Yeah,
not much in it, no, but
not much.
Unfortunately, it was called.
So Peter Mann, from 35 metres out, kicks. The crowd from behind the goal's happy. That's their third goal.
Qantas gives you even more ways to earn and enjoy your frequent flyer points right across the world. With American Airlines, Canadian Airlines, US Air, Scandinavian Airlines and British Airways, making Australia's leading frequent flyer program more rewarding than ever.
Well, James Manson felt hardly done by, so he goes to the centre and wins a terrific hit out. Bizzotto, a kick under pressure, short of full forward. It's there for Fitzroy, but it's grabbed by Madigan. His hand pass to Chisholm. He goes wide, and that's good to Leach. Look at the space here. McManus, once again he had time to fumble. 2 or 3 more bounces. Sean McManus up towards the 50. He went through some slalom gates there that weren't even there to the goal square, and he's given the ball up, and straight away the defensive mark to Dent. And exactly how you called it, Blighty. Didn't make the most of it, a run through the middle.
Dent goes out to Zanotti. Zanotti looks inside, and terrific mark there. There were actually a lot of Fremantle players, and Lamb's done very well under enormous pressure. Gives it to Boyd, now in trouble. Has to go back to McCarthy. McCarthy with an excellent kick. Goes very long, very direct. Murillo almost in front, trying to give it off to Leach, and all players now hit the ground with Murillo underneath. So bounce almost on centre wing. Brett Cook standing on the boundary line, waiting to come on. Burton taps it forward, off the ground by Leach. Delaney runs onto it with pace. Really should have set up Callaghan then with a handball. It really did make it awkward for him. Falls to Gary Durkay. Durkay chips it. Abraham direction. Almost a very good mark, but tremendous pressure there from Brett Chandler from behind. Allen comes up with a footy. Great tackling at centre half forward, and a great contest from all players.
That certainly was hot in there then. Ben Allen trying to con the umpire that he'd taken a mark that travelled the distance, and he's still debating it with umpire John Harvey. Ben, you won't win.
Lions by 10 points. Throw a blanket over about 26 players here. Burton can't take clean possession. Atkins a hurried kick into the centre square. Leach dodges a tackle. It sits up beautifully for Callaghan. He's proving a problem. Hoisted very high and wide. Groom bounces back into the field of play. Taken out by Baldwin. Crowd wanting deliberate. Well, he couldn't pay that. Fitzroy have already been severely dealt with an out-of-bounds deliberately this year. It was Jeff Bruce against Richmond. Richmond got a free kick, won the game by 6 points. They'll still talk about it. The Jeff Bruce incident. McManus, back of the pack. Into Chisholm. His kick is offline.
McManus is doing some damage. He's moved over to take Brad Boyd on in a tagging role, but just sitting well enough off him in that he can be fed the ball from out the back.
So an excellent kick out here, and falls to Wayne Lamb. Not to be confused with our boundary rider today. He kicks up. Oh, good mark. Great mark by Madigan in front. Honest at the footy. Eyes at it. Chips out wide to Murillo. Murillo's going to sell the dummy and get caught. Allen comes in to help out, and he's caught. He goes absolutely deliberately to the boundary line, but is grabbed high, and Dennis Rich pays him a free kick. Kicks into the man direction, has to sit and wait now, and McCarthy does pretty well. Gives it off to McManus. McManus through traffic, and that is a high tackle. accidents do count, and Brad Boyd's not happy about it, but unfortunately that was a free kick.
Bit of a dust-up going on behind play.
And Boyd was most unfortunate. McManus was on the way down as he went to put the tackle on, and finally contact was made too high on this young man.
So Sean McManus will kick from 45 metres out. Quite a deliberate approach. A lovely kick. What's a goal?
These are the times that we move through. These are the times that we move through. This is the road that we travel. This is the place that we come to.
Yeah, a few goals have come from free kicks in this game. Mann got one, McManus in this quarter. Back in the middle, and just a three-point game. Clean possession, Burton. Hand pass is going to bring Snow. There's Boyd, still reeling after giving away that free kick. Atkins, a standing start, good kick with penetration. Juggle mark by Madigan, not paid. Free kick now to Fitzroy. And this will be taken by Morton. Ex-North Adelaide player, Danny Morton, started the game on the bench. And will this be another goal in this game, resulting from a free kick? It'll burn a lot. Just inside the 50. And it'll drop short. Man in front, Madigan. Well, he almost took the previous mark. This time it's paid.
You're just really stretching Jared Malloy. Malloy not having the inches necessary at centre-half forward, and Madigan playing it so very well in the air.
He, in fact, goes wide, and players all underneath it. Ends up with Leach. This way, then that away. They really do play an exciting brand of footy to the Fremantle side. Oh, going early, and about a half an hour overstretched was Durkay. Atkins, free kick will surely have to go back to Stretch. And right in front of centre wing, in a smallish but noisy crowd, really hoping this home side can do something. Chisholm takes a very good mark. Well helped by Madigan. He now runs off to McManus, to Murillo. He's under pressure, enormous pressure. Somehow or other gets out of it. McManus is grabbed high. Play on calls the umpire. And now Fitzroy share it through Morton, back to Boyd. And he, in fact, kicks it wide to the running Dent. Dent into the path of it, kicks, and Ridley chips it off. And just that finish here just let them down poorly because the gate was really open. Ridley with a long kick finds Wills, and Wills with a paddock in front of him if he can get round. Elects to kick the football in the Peter Mann direction, and John McCarthy does well from behind with a fist out of bounds.
McCarthy has slotted into centre-half back quite well over the last couple of weeks. A good job on Earl Spalding last week, and has backed it up with some disciplined play here today.
Boundary throw-in, half forward for the Dockers. There's McCarthy. And that's high, wide, and not very handsome. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be taken by Dale Kickett. In between wing and half forward for the Dockers, outer side of the ground. 7 minutes remaining to half-time. Good punch down by McCarthy, but he interfered with Mann. And Mann gets another free kick. Won't score this time, too far out. Chance for Groom. Oh, a big leap over the top by the tallest man there, Burton.
And from where we sit, you could see it coming. The big fellow pushed himself down the ground, got himself in a very good position behind the pack, and then with those 3 or 4 huge strides, 1, 2, 3, and up he goes. Great grab.
Well, that's just fantastic by Burton. It's 3 marks, 7 disposals he's had, and he goes for goal and got it, and he's put the Dockers in front.
Monday, the local sports club is fast becoming the place to get drunk.
You don't learn to drink unless someone teaches you to drink.
Alarming statistics, and police are looking for ways to break the link between sport and alcohol. A special report Monday on 7 News.
Monday, the 7 Network presents a royal gala performance.
Superstar Celine Dion,
Pierce Brosnan,
Joanna Lumley,
Rowan Atkinson.
A television event.
The world remembers Live for Peace. 8:30 Monday on 7.
So the momentum swings back to the Dockers in this game that Fitzroy have had their chance, and now the Dockers coming back hard at them. Sorted out through the middle. Atkins with that quick kick forward and goes out wide. Sitting underneath it, Madigan. Malloy spoils well. Flips it back to Chisholm. Can't get hold of it. Ridley off the ground towards the boundary line, right on the 50-metre line now, as the chalk, and Ridley sends it over the bound.
That's where, Malcolm, I think that's where Fitzroy is falling down at the moment. Madigan has really got Jared Malloy under control, purely as a result of the height he has got. Perhaps it's worthy of Cook going there and Manson back into the ruck, or even Manson himself having a run against Madigan.
Well, Burton wins that two-hander down to Madigan, up towards the centre of the ground. Zanotti punches for Boyd. Boyd from the centre square, no great distance with the kick. Oh, the half-volley pick-up by Kickett, magnificent. And pass up the corner. And the mark to the skipper, Ben Allen. Allen from half-back to wing. Wills is there. Turns inboard. McManus. Zanotti comes to spoil. McManus still there. Delaney, they won't catch him from behind. Certainly Atkins. Delaney gets the goal. So after 3 pot shots in the first quarter, none of which were successful, he's finally on the board.
And a great piece of work here by McManus. Wills goes to wing, and watch McManus. He keeps a hold of the ball, maintains possession of the ball all the time. Often players, when they go to ground from a knock like that, may try to accentuate it a little bit more so the umpire sees it and lose possession of the ball. That time he kept it, was able to feed Delaney, run on and goal.
Question time now for Fitzroy, as the Dockers really do start to gather this momentum as we talked about before. Atkins on hands and knees. Gives it out to Baldwin, who's got many possessions. And all players in and around, just on the edge of the square. So once again, the Fitzroy forward line just not quite functioning with some easy stuff. And looks like the blood rule. McGovern's just come onto the ground.
Yeah, he's been there 30 seconds.
Yeah, to replace Retzlaff. And I think we'll now see Retzlaff come off. Or come on for him. So that's fair enough. So now we have this slight delay. Keith Callaghan, the umpire, adjudicating. And big Matthew Burton. The crowd love him here. They love him kicking goals. They love him running. They love him marking. And here he ends up with it. Tunnel balls it forward. Back to Hawkins, overruns it. Boyd with a clever handball to Cook. Cook needing support, gets it from Atkins. Atkins out wide to Hawking. Lovely kick. Gilbert goes to ground. Hawkins thinks about going off. Now swings on his left foot. Oh, it's a high ball. Almost marked there by Chisholm. Great jump. And the players, once again, sit it up.
As Cook comes off for Manson returning, I would perhaps have kept both boys on the ground for that little bit extra height across half forward.
Chance here for the Lions. Malloy, number 7, but the other number 7, Ben Allen, got in between ball and opponent. Malloy, the hand pass. Back he goes. Here's a snap by Doyle. Up and down in the one spot. Burton is there. Free kick to Fitzroy. 10 metres from goal. And Allen said clearly what he thought to Dennis Rich about that decision. A push by Chisholm.
Well, it was a fairly soft one, I'd call that one. It was just within the contest. All players had eyes on the ball, and his ability just to dive away to the left has rewarded Jason Baldwin with the free kick.
I reckon it's a square off to the one man got, so I reckon it's about square.
17 disposals for Baldwin. And a good kick. Goal.
Last week, Today Tonight featured 3 times as many Melbourne-based stories as our major competitor. Stories on matters directly affecting our city.
Should we pay a toll for new freeways?
Just getting some publicity.
If a story is important to the well-being of Melbourne viewers, you'll only see it on Today Tonight.
So what is it that makes our state so special?
All that, and we still cover the leading national and international stories like no other. Today Tonight with Walkley Award-winning journalist Jill Singer. Weeknights on 7.
So it's a 3-point ball game. Fremantle 3 points in front of Fitzroy. Burton has to stand his ground. Tap forward to Ridley. Ridley gives it off to Kickett. Kickett with a beautiful kick to Mann. Coming out to meet it. Almost taken. Well done by Paxman. Over to McCarthy. And McCarthy kicks out to Morton. Free kick down the ground, but Morton has marked. Plays on. Swings back inside immediately. Doyle up to Allen. Clever. Really does hang on to the footy to Chisholm. Chisholm goes short to Durkheim, finds that player. He drops it. Good enough to recover. Gets around stretch. Really needs some help now. Oh, and a wonderful kick to Delaney. What a beautifully weighted kick. And Tony Delaney now has Peter Mann back by himself and finds that player some 30 metres and will kick from 35 metres.
John McCarthy could see it coming. His man was going to take the mark right in front, and there was nothing he could do about it.
Well, hasn't Delaney given them a bit in this opening half? His return game after spending some 4 weeks out of the game with a knee injury.
So Peter Mann from just over 30 metres out kicks and kicks truly for his second goal, and the Dockers 7th. So they eke that margin out to 9 points. 7-6 to 6-3.
And so Peter Mann becomes the first player for the Dockers to kick 2 goals in the game, and one of 6 players to kick them. But it has been Tony Delaney. There's been some indiscretion within his game, some undisciplined work at times so far, but his value with the pace and his use of the ball is exceptional.
Well, it was good to see a goal coming from a mark taken in front of goals rather than a free kick. There have been a lot of goals from free kicks in this game. Murillo gave it back to Kickett, who gave it to him in the first place. Lions a chance now if they can just get it out, but Dale Kickett was very good to make sure the ball was going nowhere. 2 minutes remaining to half-time. And interestingly, in the game, we've had 9 goals kicked at the right-hand end, which looks like into the breeze, and only 4 goals at the left-hand end with the breeze. Hawking, good mark. And Simon Hawking, who has already kicked 2, lining up for his 3rd. He's just been excellent there.
He's been excellent, Drew, because when he leads and when he comes, he's coming hard. There's no propping, no hesitation. Very aggressive work there.
Margin at the moment 9 points in favour of the Dockers. And Hawking to get the Lions back to within 3. They had led by 10 at quarter time. So most of the scoring has been done into the breeze, which is not very strong. Hawking, 40 metres out. Starts at left, it stays left. 2 goals, 2 to Hawking.
So Chisholm to bring the ball back in. Goes down the middle in the Leach direction. Through that player's hands. Running onto it is Malloy. Clever little tap there. Back to Pike, caught. Plenty of players around the footy, a lot of pressure. And coming up with it is Manson. He's dispossessed as well. Pike again to Boyd. He's dispossessed. And the Fremantle side start running. And they get it through Allen. Oh, there's a quorum out there. There's enough to vote. And not one of them could get hold of it. Amazing.
You were just about to start counting the bounces,
yes,
weren't you?
So centre wing, just that handball. It just can really set up the game or break it down. So Burton goes early. Coming through is Bird. Working hard is Morton. Ridley picks it up. He's dispossessed. Free kick. No, play on. Goes to Burton. The crowd rises and roars to Callaghan. Callaghan round the corner. Man just can't grab hold of it. McCarthy somehow or other gets through the traffic and then kicks long. Sitting underneath it from behind. Doug Hawkins. Is that? No, it's Brett Boyd, in fact. So Brett Boyd is very good in the air. Hasn't had many opportunities to mark today, playing around the middle. And there is half-time with the Fremantle side at 7-6-48. Fitzroy now trailing 6-4-40 in what was a pretty good quarter for Fremantle, kicking 6 goals.
Hostilities in the second half here, and at half-time the Fremantle Dockers leading Fitzroy by 8 points. A win vital to both. The Dockers have lost their last 7, Fitzroy have lost their last 9, and they would love to get something out of the season. Fitzroy had the better of the first quarter and led by 10, but Fremantle kicked 6 goals to 3 in the second to lead by 8 points. And just in the foreground we see Doug Hawkins, the veteran, coming to the bench, and he's getting a few cheers from the crowd here. Last week he spent about 3/4 on the bench and publicly said he was very disappointed with Bernie Quinlan. Here's Hawkins playing his 347th game, 6th on the list of all-time players. Second half underway. Burton back on the ball for the Dockers, and he beats Manson, but it goes straight to Baldwin, who's cleared it out of the middle well. Kicked by Baldwin inside the 50. It's knocked to the front of the pack. Murillo caught in a good tackle and couldn't get out of there, and the umpire will ball it up. And Doug Hawkins, who saw some action in the first half but has had just 2 touches for the game. Well, Burton from a standing start got it back out, tapped back by Bizzotto. Baldwin another kick to full forward. Hawking one out. Gilbert can't take the mark. Front of the pack. Hand pass dished out by Callaghan, and Chisholm clears for the Dockers. Now Kickett, who was good in the first half. His hand pass is blocked, but he taps to Chisholm. It turns the opposition inside out. Well played by Scott Chisholm. Towards the centre of the ground, and Peter Mann.
Peter Mann, centre wing. Just held up there. Has Durkay as his target. Durkay jumps well and marks cleanly. So Gary Durkay now between wing and half forward. Goes back in. Oh, sensational jump from Abraham and being paid. Well, you thought the ball was going over his head then, but Winston Abraham just got that extra spring and took a terrific mark. So we'll kick from about the 50-metre line, right on 50. It's a low kick. Oh, that's a lovely kick. I'm sure that it's a goal. 8th goal to Fremantle. First one after half-time, a very important goal. And a special piece of play there from Winston Abraham.
The first one after the break's always important, and Fitzroy had the push through Baldwin, but Kickett was the one who again instigated a rebound play from the West Coast Eagles half-back line, and then ends up here with, that's a great grab, being able to get up there, take the ball, juggle it on down, and then to be able to finish it off with a goal. Excellent start, Winston Abraham.
Back in the middle. Manson got very high to beat Burton. Down to Boyd. Out of the centre square. Pike is there. Loses control of it. Madigan to Callaghan. Kickett. Bit of a fumble and has lost it. And now it'll be a ball up with Frank Bizzotto getting in there to spoil it. Bizzotto a pat on the head from his skipper Brad Boyd. Umpire John Harvey here in charge with Keith Callaghan and Dennis Rich. Manson kick smothered. They try to wrestle the ball free. It's not what you'd call classical open football in this little passage. It's blocked up there, and it's a 14-point lead to the Dockers after they've got the first goal of the second half.
So right on the centre square, right on the edge of the square. Burton, big jump to McManus, can't handle it. Leach keeps his body over the footy. Burton standing still, made it difficult for the handball. Quick comes out to Boyd. Boyd kicks Gilbert and Ridley. Ridley takes a very well-judged mark on the second attempt. So he just holds this attack up from Fitzroy. He goes wide. Matthew Burton has to sit and wait, and he marks. Half-back flank.
Gee, he does cover the ground, doesn't he?
He's really stretching Manson out, isn't he? The ability to be able to push wide, and the confidence his teammates have in giving him the ball.
Oh, sensational jump from Bad Boyd. Off to Zanotti. Zanotti takes them on. Leach stops him. Under pressure. Kicks wide. Ball coming out. And Madigan, who's been a very good player, spins back into the side. Oh, finds Delaney in space. Now Delaney can run through the middle here. Got Wills in support. Looks back in the middle. Now uses Wills. Free kick. Called play on. Andrew Wills from 50 metres out. Goes for home. just starting to drift on the breeze now. And a free kick has been played. Called play onto Abraham, but Dennis Rich will bring it back. Paxman's not happy about it.
Well, there it is there. Paxman holding the front position and just gets a spoil. I really struggled to identify the reason Dennis Rich gave that one. I thought Paxman worked his opponent well, putting his forearm right across the chest. Whether Rich deemed it to be just too high, but a very fine line, Dennis.
So Chris Groom, who hasn't kicked a goal today, you would think so from here, and he has. 9th goal to the Fremantle.
The Mitsubishi Grand Final sale, whoa, is now on. That means, whoa, free air conditioning on 7-seater Nimbus. Oh, and whoa, great deals on Lancer. Ooh, but best of all, Magna goes for the Grand Slam with free on-road costs plus 2 years free scheduled service on sedan and wagon. So, see your local participating dealer today and score a great deal on a new Mitsubishi.
So another goal in this game that's come as a result of a free kick. The replacement footy coming out just as the original football reappears from the crowd. And it's in the arms of an official, so that won't go missing. But we have a new football. 60-40, Dockers in front. Bounce favours Manson, and he wins it with a 25-metre hit out. Pike, back he goes to Atkins. Little kick to the front edge of the square, and Boyd takes the mark, standing his ground on McManus. Brad Boyd, what a tough role it's been. Skipper of a club with so much inexperience and youth. Mighty kick by Boyd, and at the back Malloy waited, but it didn't come back to him. The hand pass comes out to Chisholm. He floats it across the ground to Callaghan. His kick is smothered. And a chance here for the Lions, although the ball is knocked over the boundary line by Doyle. It's not out of bounds. Now it is. On the full, and Fremantle free kick will be taken.
Peter Doyle is another one of those little 1%ers from Peter Doyle there, in hassling the ball carrier from the Dockers, and just a hand to be able to stop the effective handball getting away.
Gilbert to Kickett, and Kickett takes the mark. 15 disposals for him, and they're sorting it out pretty well out of defence. Here's Murillo, who broke his jaw in his AFL debut in round 1 this year. Look at Gilbert getting some space at half-back. Out to centre wing, all Fremantle here, and Mann not afraid to get behind the wing in search of kicks. Over the top to McManus. Space galore for the Dockers. The gap closed on McManus. Oh, he beat the tackle of Morton too easily. Kick by McManus is disappointing. Drop short. Shot for goal on the turn by Abraham is offline. No score. Paxman.
Here's free kick given there. Paxman goes close to the boundary line, and Baldwin just can't keep it in. And just let himself down with a bit of skill there, Stephen Paxman. He knows it. It's just disappointing finish.
Malcolm, these thrusts forward from the Fremantle side really do expose their real want to have another key forward, someone who can stand up regularly for them, and I think that'll be one of their major projects over the summer period.
So Mann and Manson both try and grab hold of it to Bird. Baldwin, who's got plenty of the ball on the ball, kicks, and Burton sits and waits underneath it. Tries to release Chisholm. Chisholm straight up the middle, looking for opportunities. Sees a player out wide, and that's Leach. And Leach marks right on 50. Leach now can go to Durkay, and does. And so Gary Durkay, who's kicked just the 1 goal in that first quarter, has been a lively player, as most of the forwards in Fremantle. Just think they're a better side when they do try and use the leading player. So Gary Durkay, very close to the man on the mark, kicks, just floating across and tapped through. So 7th behind to Fremantle. They move on to 9-7-61, and Fitzroy 6-4-40. So the margin 21 points with just under 14 minutes to play of this third quarter.
Could have had a big day, Durkay. He's had 10 kicks, but he's kicked just 1 goal. Near the centre of the ground, Bird, the hand pass wide, Bizzotto, Leach hassling him, comes to Atkins, Baldwin another possession, on the bounce, Bird tackled well, lost control of it. Kickett's been fantastic. back in the middle of the pack. McGovern to Allen. Allen can beat a man nearly as well as anybody in the league. Callaghan back to Allen. Oh, rips straight through them and palms off another one. Look at this by Benny Allen. Oh, wouldn't a goal have been something there behind?
Gee, that's aggressive and confident football at its best. Whether they were coming from behind or whether they were coming from in front, Ben Allen had answers for them.
So Doug Hawkins waiting to return to the fray. As Paxman now kicks in, goes very long. It's a great kick to Bizzotto. Oh, that's gone 70 metres. What a wonderful kick with that shade of breeze behind him. Really has opened up the game. Off to Baldwin. Baldwin running through the middle. Hawking taking off the ball there and allows Gilbert to take the easy mark. He'll go wide. Ben Allen. Also to Durkay. What a wonderful kick too. Kicking now good. And Durkay takes a well-judged mark. There's a player running for him. Now looks inside to Delaney, and Delaney with McManus. They could have raffled it. And Tony Delaney, now he goes to that player. So McManus takes it. Pretty loose checking there. Once that ball was turned over, the Fitzroy side was always in trouble.
He's a hard runner, isn't he, McManus? At one moment he's there, involved with Delaney, but quite prepared then to push down and in actual fact is really stretching Brad Boyd, his direct opponent at the moment. Boyd returning after a thigh injury this week.
So Sean McManus kicks and kicks very truly for his second goal.
Fly Qantas and save on airfares to places like Sydney from just $189 return, or the Gold Coast from $319 return. Book at least 21 days in advance. Hop to it, call your licensed or AFTA travel agent or Qantas now.
Are they still behind us?
Yeah, they just ran a red line.
Did they make it through?
No!
Well, in this quarter, Fremantle going into the breeze have kicked 3-2 to nothing. So Fitzroy haven't moved since half-time. Burton charging in. Baldwin had it spent before he got it. There's Atkins, almost buried near the centre circle. Allen, oh, great stuff. Off Burton, it goes to McGovern. Bird. Manson eventually gets it out to Boyd. Atkins. Atkins to full forward. Malloy. Good punch by Ridley. Ridley gets it back with a good interchange of hand passing. And look at the pace here, and dashing away is Scott Chisholm. And the kick to McManus is pinpoint. His kick into Allen. Just outside 50. He's got support, won't need it. Ben Allen for goal. And another shot for goal where the skipper has failed to register a goal. The ball's out of bounds. Ben Allen saying to the umpire, what's that? Is that deliberate? Can I lip read any better than that? That'd be the gist of it.
Yes, the build-up was terrific then, and just unfortunately let down as Stephen Stretch comes back onto the ground. Burrows and Manson. It's tapped down in front. Goes to Brett Chandler. McManus picks up the loose ball. This time from Ben Allen. Slams it onto the boot. Surely a goal. Oh, it's just missed. No, he's just missed again. So he's under pressure with the kick, so he had to unload quickly. And unfortunately, it just wobbled off. So Fremantle to 10-9, 69. Fitzroy at 6-4-40, 29 points in arrears.
And the ruckman Cook off the ground after just one handball for Fitzroy. Paxman's kick in. Zanotti got underneath the ball. And his man, Burrows, nearly had the chance to take the mark, but the ball out of play. Pretty quiet day for Craig Burrows with just 3 touches. Boundary throw in, half forward for Fremantle. Here's Burrows getting his 4th. Into Burton, playing like a rover. Leach on the boundary line. He centres. Wills, 15 metres out, kicks a goal.
You like a beer, mate?
Yeah, dog.
3 diamonds, thanks, Wendy. Tastes all right, doesn't it? You wouldn't know it had less carbohydrates, would you? Yeah, good for the old.
No, Oh, no good. Me sumo. Stay big.
Want to watch your weight? Try Diamond Draft.
So the Dockers now 35 points in front of Fitzroy. And it is danger time now for Fitzroy. They really must come back with a goal and just stop this mini avalanche. Burton, terrific out of the centre. Kick back towards the wing. First back there is Kickett, who has played very well all day. Unloads the ball towards the boundary line. Boyd's caught by Madigan in a great tackle. Callaghan somehow or other keeps it in and then gives it away as Burton's unable to control it and has a bit of a rest, and young Jeff White comes on. So right on centre wing, in front of the interchange gates. White in front, pushes it down to McGovern, hasn't got the footy and held. Unloaded to Zanotti, kicks it to centre half forward, or open spaces. Gilbert there first there, taps it over to Chisholm. Chisholm off the ground, comes back into the middle of the ground. Picking it up then is Peter Doyle. Quick kick left to Stretch. Stretch from 50 metres out, goes for home and has kicked the goal. A much needed one from Fitzroy. So Stephen Stretch's first goal, and the first goal of this quarter to Fitzroy. So they just get that margin back a bit, Terry.
They've really got to keep working at it now. Prior to this goal here from Stretch, the Dockers had kicked 10 of the last 11 goals, so it certainly was time for Fitzroy to put a stop to that sort of control that the Dockers had. Stretch now moving into half forward. A good goal from he. This centre bounce must be very, very important for Fitzroy.
Back in the centre, Fitzroy going forward. Baldwin's had a lot of the leather today. Punches the ball out of the centre square. There's Pike. Oh, it finishes up with Morton. Gets the hand pass to Baldwin again. Disappointing kick. Gave the forwards no chance. Made it easy for Ridley. Floats the hand pass out of defence. Leach. Another hand pass back into the pack. Didn't clear the area. Comes back to Quentin Leach. Round the corner he goes to centre wing. Mann is there. Takes McCarthy out of it too easily. Well done by Peter Mann. Zanotti leads his man Burrows. Doug Hawkins a rare touch. Matthew Dent for Fitzroy. Baldwin again. And Jason Baldwin, that's just his second mark, but he's had 24 possessions. To centre half forward, Malloy underneath the ball, and a tumbling mark is taken by Chisholm. Gets the hand pass away to Kickett, who's been fantastic. Wide to Mann. Now his opponent McCarthy is 50 metres away. Kicked by Mann. Inside the 50. Burrows is there, and a leap and a mark by Groom. Burrows has gone on, and here he is. And we're going to have another Fremantle goal kicker out of this. Craig Burrows has kicked just one behind. And this will be Fremantle's 5th goal into the breeze in this quarter. Burrows, a very quiet day. Gets the goal.
If you erased all our memories of sport, burned all the record books, bulldozed all the stadiums, and buried all the equipment, people would still wake up in the morning and run. Nobody invented running. Nobody had to.
So the margin's back to 35 points. 8.5 minutes to go of this third quarter. And Fremantle, just at the moment, do have the answers. White jumps brilliantly to Callaghan. Tackled by Morton was good. Oh, Kickett, he's been sensational. And chips beautifully to Durkay. This is when they are dangerous, when they start doing this and using that skill to Abraham. And Abraham will kick if he takes that opportunity to kick from 50 metres. He's into a slight breeze, and there haven't been too many kicked today from 50 down this end. It's been maiden team play. And he just goes for that bit extra and just hoiks it a bit, but made it easy. What a wonderful kick. And 12-10-82 now, Fremantle. Fitzroy 7-4-46.
Paxman to kick in for the Lions. With just under 8 minutes to go to three-quarter time. He's got it out in space here. Bit of a fumble, but time to recover for Bird. Up towards half forward. That was Morton back there, not Bird. And now here's Malloy for Fitzroy at centre wing. Inside the 50. Boyd's gone to the forward line. He's taken out too easily by Ridley. And Brad Boyd, who missed last week, just doesn't look 100% fit. Here's Kickett, who's had a fantastic game, playing at his 5th club in the AFL, and normally he'd write a bloke off. He's had more clubs than Jack Nicklaus, but he's been great today. Here he goes again, knocking the ball up the ground. Wills to Ben Allen. Been searching for a goal all day, Benny Allen. Kicked only a couple of behinds, unloads, but drops a bit short. McCarthy back there, a fumble, another fumble, a recover, and a whistle, and off the ball there was a free kick, and it'll be taken by Matthew Dent.
So Dent goes very wide and finds Peter Doyle on his favoured left foot, kicks out to Zanotti with a lot of space in front of him. Now sits and waits. Atkins back into the middle, can't hit that player. Pike comes to assist. Now Atkins with a quick kick, clever kick indeed. Releases Boyd and Ridley again. Boyd over the back. Oh, well done, Brad Boyd. Kicks and has missed. Just a great contest there.
Yeah, just showed a little lack of confidence, didn't it, in Brad Boyd there when he'd taken the mark and he played on that little bit too quickly. He just doesn't seem as sure as himself as he normally is.
Ridley's kick in is perfect onto the chest of his skipper. Allen takes the mark. Ben Allen, 17 possessions, out to centre wing. Burrows takes it to the boundary line and out of bounds on the full. Free kick quickly taken into Hawking, who's been moved from full forward up the ground. Boyd playing in the goal square. Kick by Hawking across the ground to Baldwin, leading possession winner for the Lions, but it missed the target. It spills to Wills. Durkay backs into his man Hawkins. There's the great man, the Hawk, gets it out. Crowd wanted a throw for that one, nothing doing. Bird gets the hand pass away. Oh, but come unstuck. Pizzotto. McGovern a good tackle. Atkins a good hand pass. Oh, crunch! Look at that tackle by Chisholm to dispossess his man. It spills to Wills. Long to full forward, and an excellent mark has been taken by Groom. All set up by Scott Chisholm, who took the breath out of his opponent with a sensational tackle back on centre wing.
Isn't this great? And here's the long kick. Groom takes very good position here. Eyes on the ball all the way. Good clean grab.
Chris Groom, pretty quiet in the stats. Funny old kick, just wobbled home.
Toyota have extended their big Camry price chop till August 19 to give you more chopping days to save on current model Camrys now being run out. Toyota dealers desperately need to clear the stock before August 19, giving you more chopping days to save. To save big money on run-out model Camry sedans and wagons, get in for your Camry price chop while the feathers are really flying.
So 41 points, the margin just keeps on eking itself out. Manson tries to give it off to Baldwin, can't. Baldwin caught again, ends with McManus, through the traffic to Man, over the top. It's Gary Durkay, now puts on the spurt, now we'll make a certainty of it. Thanks very much, Gary. 1 point only, which really was sensational play. He really is an exciting player as Dale Kickett comes off and played a remarkable nearly 3/4 as Dale Kickett.
Kickett 19 possessions and Brendan Retzlaff back on the ground. Stephen Paxman to kick in. Straight up the middle. They need a few goals here in the last 4.5 minutes of the term. Fitzroy. Jeff White, the youngster, fires the hand pass to Callahan. Look at the disposal to Wills, and a good mark in front of his eyes. Beats Hawkins to the ball, pokes it up high. Man runs into the hole. They've been tackled before he had the ball. Fitzroy defenders coming from everywhere, and they force a ball up. It's a 42-point lead to Fremantle, and they'd led by just 8 at half-time. Livening up with a few frayed tempers here. Martin Pike is not averse to a bit of this. Umpires reversed it and was given the free kick to Fitzroy, and it's quickly taken down there by Dent. And now here's Zanotti.
Zanotti just wobbles the ball off, puts Baldwin under pressure. Burrows tackles high, and so Jason Baldwin will take this from centre half back. Plays on with a handball over to Pike. Pike onto his left foot goes long. Oh, Abraham, it's Chisholm in fact with the sit over Bird. Gives it off to Leach. Leach has players in advance, probably end up with Allen. Kicks towards that player, but beautifully read by Martin Pike. Pike plays on, wheels round to Baldwin. Baldwin back into the centre of the ground, and a terrific diving mark is taken by Brad Boyd.
Hawking
he plays on.
Full forward.
Boyd gets it back from Hawkins, comes wide. Sitting underneath it, oh, Abraham does well. Retzlaff covers terrific. Oh, players everywhere here. Allen should go to Wills, does that. Andrew Wills runs in 30, 20, from 20 metres out, dribbles it through. Another goal to Fremantle.
Oh, my crikey, he's broken out of the pack. Now, that's a good early move. He's got his entry filled out. Now he's in the running to win a VIP trip for 4 to the AFL Grand Final just by drinking Coca-Cola. Oh, what a screamer! He's now in with a chance to score one of 2,500 free footballs. Oh, what skill. A top drop punt. This should be the winner. Yes! Oh, a beauty. What a score!
Well, this has been a runaway quarter for the Dockers. They've kicked 7 goals to 1 into the breeze. And it's the sort of victory they had in their last win, which was way back against St Kilda at Waverley in round 10 when they won by 71 points. Here they go again. McGovern kicks off the boot and passes to pull forward to the front Wills. Wills for his third. Nobody back there, but he sprays it right and kicks it behind. They're even kicking him barefooted.
Yes, and I suppose the tradition of these two sides are now that the Dockers had their first win against Fitzroy, of course, back in round 3 at the Western Oval, when they won by actually 43 points. So the kick in from Dent goes wide, and Paxman jumps early and takes it very well indeed. Looking back, warmish conditions. None of these Fitzroy players would have been experienced this in Melbourne during this week. It's been very wet indeed. Ball out to centre wing, grabbed by Stretch onto his left foot, hooks it back in towards centre half forward. First there, Boyd gives it off to Baldwin. Baldwin kicks long. Gilbert in the prime position at the back, lets it go over his head, now runs to help, walking under pressure, and Chisholm, just as he's done so often today, really has helped out. Wonderful poise, goes back into McManus. There's always a gap back in there, and they really don't like giving up this footy across half back unless it's to another player. Not enough pressure probably from the Fitzroy side. Allen's caught. Now there's a bit of pressure, and just makes that bit of difference if you can do that. So half-back flank, between wing and half-back flank, as Jeremy Gard comes on for his first run today.
Actually, I think he's been there a little bit before, but hasn't bothered the statisticians. Atkins out to Stretch. Stretch, a long high ball in the direction of Hawking. Wrestled off it by Gilbert. It comes down underfoot. Little kick forward. Gilbert did well. Hand pass comes back. Retzlaff, Chisholm, Murillo. And they're out of trouble again. Tucks it under the armpit, Joe Murillo. McGovern. Look at that. Forks around the man. Tries to find Murillo, but Gard put him under pressure. Murillo good enough. The umpire said he threw it. And it's a Fitzroy free kick to go to Stephen Stretch. Under a minute to three-quarter time. 49-point lead to the Dockers. Stretch. Boyd climbs. It gets to the back of the pack. Chisholm, he's mopped up brilliantly. And this time the ball through for a rush behind.
He's been the perfect back pocket there in defence, as Scott Chisholm. Always been prepared to drop in behind the contest, cleaning up and protecting the goals.
So we'll have to do this all again. But McGovern still bootless on his left foot. And Scott Chisholm. Difficult way to play footy that way. Chisholm goes in short to Callaghan. Callaghan really just does kick it without looking, goes to the middle, no one there for home. Comes back inside to guard. Give it off to Chandler. Now the chip from guard. Pack of players there. Murillo does well. Got support now. Now goes out wide to Ben Allen. Kick doesn't find that player, but it ends up with half back. Pizzotto comes and makes a real contest of it, and the ball's out of bounds between wing and half back. And it seems like the ball's been out there just a little bit in the last few minutes. James Manson coming off and Brett Cook on. Atkins does the ruck work. Knocks down. Jeff White knocked off the ball and will take it high. And there's the three-quarter time siren. Fremantle 14-12-96. Double the score for Fitzroy 7-6-48.
4 quarters of laughs with a serious touch in Time On. Friday nights on 7 Sports.
The Mitsubishi Grand Final sale, whoa, is now on. That means, whoa, free air conditioning on 7-seater Nimbus. Oh, and whoa, great deals on Lancer. Ooh, but best of all, Magna goes for the whole Grand Slam with free on-road costs plus 2 years free scheduled service on sedan and wagon. So, see your local participating dealer today and score a great deal on a new Mitsubishi.
There's a lot going on in the world, gets busier every day. Doing your job, having a say, making your mark or just finding your way. But it's nice to know there's a place to go. At the pub. You're always right at home. At the pub. You never feel alone. At the pub. You're never on your own, 'cause it's all going on at a pub near you.
Only at ITP, the 3-day turbo refund. ITP will advance you an amount equal to your tax refund within 3 working days. The 3-day turbo refund, only at ITP.
These guys at Bob Jane Teammates are a bit like a winning footy team. And with specials like these, they're going to win the big one. Quality radials to suit no small cars, only $47.
For match-winning value, Bob's your uncle. Well done, boys, you've earned a drink.
Hi. Hey. Sorry, hon. I thought I'd be here before you. Had a good chat with the bank, though. Sorted it out. So? Are you okay? Okay. So what'd they say?
Well, the doctor was really pleased, and she said everything's fine.
Fine. Did you tell her you've been up 2 or 3 times a night? She said that's fine.
She says that it's quite normal
Normal.
for twins.
A growing family can mean a lot of changes.
Twins?
Whether it's a new room or a new home, the National can tailor a loan to suit you.
Better call the bank back.
National Australia Bank, tailoring banking to your needs.
A big third quarter for the Dockers, and they lead by 48 points at three-quarter time, 14-12 to 7-6. Wills has 2 goals, as does McManus, Mann, Groom, and for Fitzroy, Hawking has 2 goals.
This is the chance of a lifetime. The chance to toss the coin at the AFL Grand Final at the MCG on the last Saturday in September. As well, you and a friend will be special guests of the Australian team at the Centennial Olympics in Atlanta next year. There will be 8 consolation prizes, with return airfares and tickets to the AFL Grand Final. Tickets are $2. Entry coupons are at all Australia Post outlets, Rotary clubs and in the Footy Record. Or dial this number for credit card purchases. Proceeds will be shared by the Australian Rotary Research Fund and the Australian Olympic Team.
Well, it's a wonderful day, grand final day. Fancy tossing the coin for the captains, and what about the trip to the Olympic Games? And there are the coaches addressing their teams. We'll be back here at Subiaco shortly.
It's an interstate showdown on AFL Sunday. West Coast and Adelaide live from Subiaco.
There's a hardware store that puts in more, gives a 10 out of 10. Every time you'll get the best price, service and advice, and a 10 out of 10. Every time, mine a 10 out of 10. Mine out of 10.
That house lot will be delivered tomorrow.
That you put it where it'll get plenty of light.
Every time.
This will complement it perfectly.
Mine a 10.
Hello, Bill. What project are you working on? Panelling. I'd use an adhesive.
Out of 10.
Thank you. Well, that was good, that.
Every time. Mine a 10 out of 10. Every time.
If you've ever opened the door and found everything gone, you were probably thankful there was one thing that couldn't be stolen from you. Insurance. It puts things back together again.
Fisher-Price Doodle Table has so many ways to be creative and such a neat way to clean up. No wonder Polly and Wally doodle all day. The Doodle Table from Fisher-Price.
There are thousands of different road surfaces, but only one shock absorber that knows the difference between them all. Munro Sensor Track.
Look at that scoreline at three-quarter time. A 48-point lead to the Dockers, double Fitzroy's score. Last quarter, it's been pretty warm for these players from Fitzroy, coming over from Melbourne's weather to this. Bounce, and Burton back to start the quarter as he's done all day. Baldwin goes off the ground, might give him another possession for that. He's had it a lot today. And Retzlaff gets a hand pass, finishes up with Delaney, goes wide. Madigan floats the ball over the top. It sits for McManus. He's got support inside from Delaney, the ex-Essendon youngster. The kick is pretty low on the bounce. Oh, up to full forward already. Bit of a fumble back there. You're in trouble. Play on, says the umpire. You're in trouble. Eventually, Guard gets it. Hawkins, one of his few touches. Wide to Zanotti. And Mark Zanotti up towards centre wing. Baldwin has dominated the footy today for Fitzroy. Atkins, not so much from him. Bizzotto, back to Baldwin again. Kick by Baldwin. One out is Stretch down there. Can't take the mark. Here he is again. Goes to ground. And that was clever, actually, what Ridley did. He kicked the ball into the Fitzroy player. It came off Doyle, the first gamer, out of bounds on the full.
But Todd Ridley, between half-back and back pocket, tries to measure the kick, but Atkins actually reads it better and holds up the Fremantle team. So Atkins goes long. Player sitting underneath it, waiting. Great fist from behind. Goes across the 50-metre line, and Chisholm, with just exquisite skills, picks it up, starts the run, the bounce, looks inside. Terrific play. Finds Callaghan. Callaghan out wide to Abraham and finds that player. They really are very good across the half-back when you give them space. He goes long. Flyers wanted here, but from behind, Dent takes a very well-judged mark, and he goes out wide to Bird. Bird wobbles the ball forward to Stretch. Yeah, it was a hard one to grab hold of. He recovers. Now has to go long. Sitting underneath it, Malloy and Madigan, and both players virtually push it over the line and out of bounds. So between wing and half forward, the first score of this last quarter, Fitzroy can just get one or two. They just might get a bit of a roll on, but Fremantle just sit with a sensational third quarter. And the half-back line has been very good today. Burton just lays it off into a couple of players, including Peter Doyle. And we'll restart that with a bounce.
Poker-faced giant, isn't he?
And John Harvey puts it down. Retzlaff, well shepherded by Delaney. And unfortunately, the ball's ended up off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full.
Bird delivering the ball across. Doyle, gee, just about barely got the ball in play. Made it very tough for Simon Hawking. And it'll be a throw in just outside the 50. Cook comes from behind Burton. I don't know how he's ever going to get to the ball from there. Pike ridden into the ground. Guard gets the hand pass. Doyle. Malloy caught behind. McManus hacks the ball out of there. Well done, Callaghan. And will take a free kick. Grab when he had lost control of the ball. And he's had a very good day, Callaghan. 22 possessions. Here's Spider Burton.
Oh, yes.
He beats Bird. Burton's kick to centre half forward. Goes past Groom. Hawkins gets back there for Fitzroy. He loses it. Talk about exquisite skills. Oh, look at that. Little hand pass comes out to Allen, and Benny Allen. What's a throw, said the umpire, against Chisholm. Abraham.
He's pretty upset about that too. It looked like a good little give to me. Nevertheless, the ball goes back into the centre of the ground. Boyd unloads it, gives it to Hawkins. Atkins, who really does put his teammate under trouble. Chisholm again, just brilliant setting this up. Chips short to Wills. Wills stands and waits. Now kicks high and long. Sitting underneath its Groom. Uses one hand over the back. Dent first to recover. Goes off the ground towards the pocket, and the ball will roll out of bounds some 30 metres around from the Fremantle goal. So another boundary throw in. 16 or so minutes left of this last quarter, when still no score in this stanza. McCarthy on the ground with Durkay, and another bounce.
Bernie Quinlan was quite animated and frustrated, I think, with the players at the three-quarter time address, and rightfully so. They haven't really stepped up to the gear that their week in preparation indicated that they may well have done.
And Groom has a snap under pressure and puts it out of bounds on the full. So Matthew Dent will restart this for Fitzroy and see if they can get something going.
Yes, the Fitzroy players looking a bit frustrated, and there's the coach, Bernie Quinlan, with just 2 wins on the board in his first season of coach at AFL level against St Kilda and Adelaide. Cook, good mark. Not many players have made it to the AFL from Broken Hill, but Brett Cook has done that into the Lions senior lineup, up towards centre of the ground. Malloy out number 2 to 1. I don't know that he got first touch. Anyway, the umpire paid the mark. Malloy to centre half forward. 2 against 2 here. Oh, the ball hooked down to the front, only in the path of Morton, who fires the hand pass through to Stretch. Stretch puts it out in front of a teammate. Hawking is there. He cannot gather the ball. He's still a bit of a chance. Gilbert did all right there.
He did very well, Drew. He just sweated there that little bit, and then as Hawking's momentum took it towards the boundary line, he just a little back step, got his own body in front, was able to snaffle the ball down to the ground.
So a 48-point margin to Fremantle. No one's yet scored. Gilbert actually punches it through. So that's the first score of the last quarter. And it's a behind conceded by Phil Gilbert. And Fitzroy moved to 7-7-49. And Fremantle at 14-12-96. So the margin now 47 points. Chisholm, as he's done all day, kicks and kicks to McManus from the point. He can go wide and finds Delaney. Players run. They really do this pretty well. The Dockers kicks out to Madigan. They really peel off from half back. And his kick once again in the man direction. Always makes himself available. Great skills. Kicks it round back into centre half forward. Big fly. Ends with Hawkins. He sets it out wide to Boyd. Boyd under pressure now from Durkay. Hawkins helps him out. Great skill from Doug Hawson. Sets up Chandler. Zanotti off the ground. Burton sticks up his big mitt and covers it. The ball ends up with Murillo. He unloads it too. So a bit more pressure coming here now. Durkay to ground. Fitzroy player sweat on him. Another player to ground there. And the ball will be pulled up eventually.
Yeah. Gee, he gave them a fair chance to get that out. Umpire John Harvey. Dockers by 47 points. 13.5 minutes to go at Subiaco Oval. Comes down to guard. Bizzotto, Atkins. Retzlaff hasn't even ruffled his hair today. Chisholm, punched down by Zanotti. Leach, oh, beat a couple by standing still. Here's Spider Burton, just inside the 50. And he mucked that up. Just took his eyes off it and the ball out of play.
Wasn't there an Eric's expectation in the crowd? They really would have loved him to get it and run.
Because he was in a mile of space.
Yes.
He's been very good in his return match after 2 weeks in the waffle. His brother going out of the side with a groin injury. In he comes and he's made the most of the opportunity.
So boundary throw in. Mann pushes it back away from goals. Bizzotto runs onto it, tries to kick it off the ground, falls to action. Great hands. Back to Baldwin. Coming to meet it is Ridley, but chipping in is Murillo, and a very courageous mark. Now looks at his options, kicks it out to Retzlaff. Retzlaff has got it and is off. Players inside, now protecting with the run. Kicks it in, Groom underneath it. Wills almost. Groom recovers pretty well for the big fella, and a free kick has gone to Andrew Wills. I just saw him motion to him. I didn't actually see what happened, Terry.
No, I didn't either, Malcolm, because I was watching the way Durkay and Chisholm were coming through there, but Will's in underneath the ball nice and hard. They have been very aggressive today. I mean, broadly speaking, we view the Dockers side as a running, skillful side, but some of their work today at the opponent and at the ball when it's loose has been quite aggressive.
So Andrew Wills, a former Geelong player, kicks. He's just hooked that across, I think, and has missed. So 2 goals, 2 to Andrew Wills, coming off the bench and as a late replacement.
Former Geelong player, and here we have a former Geelong coach. Would you drag him for missing that one?
Oh, I'm sure that he would have wanted to do it as much as anyone. Kick out comes, and it comes to Chandler. So Chandler, oh, great chase from Durkay. Great punch from Wills. So those little things now just working for the Fremantle side.
Those 2 Fremantle forwards, Durkay and Abraham, absolutely fantastic.
Just
and they
the
work
little
hard to
things,
keep the ball there. Cook actually beat Burton that time. Oh, McCarthy swamped. Back to Cook, good hand pass to Hawkins. Across the ground, Fremantle fashion, and Morton takes the mark in the centre square. Danny Morton for Fitzroy. Up towards centre half forward. Good mark. Manson's just come on to replace Malloy. Pike to full forward. Hawking! Good mark.
Good work. Yes. It's taken a long time to come, but that was probably one of the most promising looking forward thrusts from Fitzroy today. Manson at centre half forward gave them the marking option there, and the quick transference gave Simon Hawking the opportunity.
And a chance for his 3rd goal. He's already the leading goal kicker for the Lions. Gets it.
If you erased all our memories of sport, burned all the record books, bulldozed all the stadiums, and buried all the equipment, people would still wake up in the morning and run. Nobody invented running. Nobody had to.
So the margin now 42 points as we wait for another football. Must be a few souvenirs takers of the footy. I know it comes back in now, but we'll restart it with the new football. So Hawking at 22 years of age, he just looks like he's maturing nicely from playing at full back and key positions now at full forward. Might be some good news for the Fitzroy side. Burton taps it, McGovern can't handle it. Through Delaney with pace. Brilliant stuff. Sets up Allen. Back to Delaney or Leach. They can raffle it. It ends with Leach. Tries to kick it back to the front, but the ball just actually wobbles off and Burrows forced to punch from behind and out of bounds in the forward pocket. So the build-up was great. The kick probably not what Leach would have really wanted then. So just over 10.5 minutes to go. And a free kick going here to Peter Mann. Put him high over the shoulder. So Peter Mann, who's kicked 2 goals, both of them in the 2nd quarter, Once again, in a pretty tough spot at centre-half forward, 13 touches. He's taken his 5 marks, and if he can kick another goal, he's a pretty important player at centre-half forward with 3. The man kicks, and of course he misses. Absolutely no doubt that was going to happen.
Every time.
So 14-14 Fremantle, 8-7 Fitzroy.
But he is the perfect type of centre-half forward for this Fremantle side. The way in which they spin the ball and toss it around coming out of half-back. He needs to be quite consistent in his leading, but then be prepared to not have the ball given to him. And Peter Mann really sticks to his task well.
Kick in and Cook. Good mark. Play on, says the umpire. Zanotti goes round in a big circle. Wills has got him. To the skipper, Boyd. Towards the outer side of the ground. Delaney tries to shrug off McCarthy, and Delaney will take the free kick. He's been good. Came over to Essendon as a raw-boned teenager. Back home to play with the Dockers. Kick by Delaney. Mostly Fitzroy. Manson's back there to hug the ball to his chest and take a good defensive mark. Short time ago, he was having the ball at half-forward to set up a goal for Hawking. Now out wide he comes to Matthew Dent, recruited from Sturt in South Australia. Manson didn't see the tackler coming. Burrows got him. Pike's hand pass. Baldwin from half-back flank. A high ball to centre wing. Matthew Burton should have taken another mark. And it'll be a ball up. 98 plays 55, a 43-point lead to the Dockers.
Yes, it's a long time, isn't it, since round 8 at Football Park when Fitzroy won. And they unfortunately have had that horror run, and you get that losing feeling, and you just see the players just drop a bit in that third quarter. And now the intensity drops out. Ends up with Atkins. Stretch has been okay up forward. He's found the ball a few times. Kick's not as good, and finds Gilbert. And Gilbert will give it to the running Delaney. No, he won't. He doesn't go that option, which is most unusual. They do like to chip it out wide. He now does it, and Leach keeps on running for him.
I reckon Delaney will get it eventually.
Yes, he will.
Here we go.
Yep. So if you're prepared to run in the game of footy, particularly in last quarters, you're fit, you're healthy, and particularly when the scoreboard says you're in front, there are some easy kicks as Mann once again presents himself at centre-half forward. Kicks back. The ball's going to finish about 40 metres from goal. Burrows stands his ground, puts Dent off the footy, and Craig Burrows, with a goal in the third quarter, has a chance for a second.
This is a very good mark. While watching the ball, he has outside the left-hand side of his vision, he was able to do the body work that gave him the goal.
So Burrows shoots. Oh, the goal umpire's hardly moved. First goal to Fremantle in this last quarter.
McDonald's triple cheeseburger. 3 all-beef patties, 3 delicious slices of cheese with pickles, ketchup, mustard and onions. It's about as cheesy as you can get.
Are they still behind us? Yeah, they just ran a red line. Did they make it through? No!
Well, something going on in the crowd. A spectator grabbed by one of the men in black, and the crowd on the spectator side on that occasion. Allen goes in very hard for his team. Cookie, they call. Boyd on the roll, but Madigan for Fremantle to half forward. McCarthy charges straight at the ball. Balks the hand pass, actually ran it a long way. McCarthy back to half forward. Madigan again. Well done by the former Hawthorn Premiership player. Time to fumble for Chisholm. Retzlaff. He's just cruised around the ground and done very nicely for 16 possessions. Short pass to Mann, and hasn't Mann moved beautifully from his position at half forward all around the place to pick up the ball and open it up for the Dockers. And now the switch to the centre of the ground. On the run, the mark is taken by Ridley. He plays on quickly, and the pass, which was meant for White, dropped short, marked by Hawkins. The hand pass to Chandler. Across the half-back line he goes. Bizzotto. Dent. Paxman beats a couple of tacklers. Kick by Paxman to half forward, not bad. And the mark taken by Cook.
Yeah, Cook off to Morton, bouncing his way around Murillo. Oh, from 45 metres out, Danny Morton can shoot and misses again to the left-hand side. So pretty good build-up then from Fitzroy. and just unfortunately not finished off with a wayward kick. So just about 6.5 minutes to go in this last quarter, and really not enough happening here for Fitzroy as the kick comes to Retzlaff. Retzlaff can go wide. McManus, haven't they got some exciting youngsters that love running? Kicks the ball high, Burrows underneath it and takes a well-judged mark close to the boundary line, turns around, and oh look, it's an absolute panic. You wonder how this happens in a game of footy, don't you, when Scott Chisholm can get that far clear. But he really is played a terrific game, Scott Chisholm. And you wonder with those injuries that he had, whether it could have been better. Burton on a lead. Oh, almost. Follows up, crashes through, turns, now gives it off to Leach. Leach from a standing start, kicks, and that'll bring the house down here too.
These are the times that we move through. These are the times that we move through. This is the road that we travel. This is the place that we come to. Revolution.
110 plays 56. Well done by Spider Burton to set up the goal for Leach. McGovern getting back in defence. Gilbert comes up to meet it. The hand pass didn't clear the area. Stretch to Hawking. And they're pretty good at tying it up at ground level like that. And the umpire has no option but to ball it up.
Actually, Terry, with Quinton Leach getting his first goal in league footy. Can you remember yours? First goal?
Gee, it's a long time ago.
I just wondered.
Oh, there must have been so many wheels. Pike, that's a good kick for a goal. So Martin Pike gets on the scorers list.
It hasn't been the day that Fitzroy wanted whatsoever. It really has belonged to the Fremantle Dockers right throughout. Pike here getting what is a very late goal, but it's very commendable to Jared Neesham and the recruiting staff of the Fremantle side. They've been able to assemble players like Durkay, Chisholm, Abraham, McManus, Leach, all players who had never looked like playing league football, but had been probably overlooked by other league scouts at different times, but now right there.
So back in the middle, Burrows jumps. Allen been terrific. Just a couple of ordinary kicks in the third quarter, but generally he's been productive all day. Jeff White with the sit in front, well punched away. At it is man. Fitzroy players work hard to Abraham, tries to give it out to Delaney. Allen almost falls to Chandler. Chandler to Atkins, and away comes Morton. Tries to chip the foot in, unfortunately misses guard, and that is held up by Retzlaff. So as they quite often do, out wide, he misses the target in Leach. Zanotti will be first there, and he's pretty happy to leave it over the line. It actually comes off Leach's boot, and that is out of bounds on the full. Zanotti quickly on. Number of players there. Punch from behind by Madigan. Retzlaff swings around onto his left and comes back inside. Mrs. Burrows, this has opened up the door. Couldn't get a hold of it is Baldwin. Ridley's been pretty serviceable at the back. Waiting for it is Delaney. Now they work it out. And the quick kick forward goes to Manson. And so James Manson will have a shot from 30-odd metres out. Thought about stretch, but then decided to go back and have another kick.
Peter Doyle involved there, Baldwin involved. They've had some players who have worked quite hard. Baldwin has definitely been the best player for the Fitzroy side today, as Manson now lines up for this shot at goal.
So James Manson, not a renowned goal kicker, but has got better over the years. Just doesn't quite hit that right either.
Has he?
So James misses, and another point to Fitzroy, 9-9-63, trailing Fremantle 16-14, 110.
I don't think you'd want James Manson kicking for goal for your life. Madigan towards the outer side. Phil Gilbert going for a run and a bounce. Just over 3 minutes remaining at Subiaco Oval. Kick by Gilbert. Look at the spaces opening up. Winston through the middle. Kick by Abraham. White in front. Take it. Oh, not quite. Play on, says the umpire. Durkay overruns. Leach. Leach thumps it long. Shepherded through. Oh, it might be there. No, Mark, right on the line. The crowd there wanted a goal. The goal umpire had a good view of it.
I think Leach enjoyed kicking his first goal of league football a moment ago and is quite prepared to have a dip for the second.
Chandler, a good saving mark. It's still here for Fitzroy as Zanotti gets the hand pass out. And centre of the ground, the kick coming up from Bizzotto. Now Fremantle have it again. McGovern out wide, and Leach, well, he's got hectares out here. The kick by Leach to the 50-metre line, and the mark has been taken by Burrows.
With Craig Burrows. Licks to go long with a torpedo. Oh, that is a sensational kick from Craig Burrows. Oh, that has absolutely nicked the post. And in fact, the free kick has been given. So no score at all on that play. Oh, what exciting kick. Comes out wide to Boyd. Boyd had Atkins on his own. Has Morton running for him in the middle. Delaney runs at him and puts some pressure. Back to Atkins. That skill level just not good enough. Surely shouldn't hit him with that. Hawken, great hands out in front. And a terrific lead. He goes short into Stretch. And Stretch is forced back by Ridley. So 65, 70 metres out, as he normally does, just bangs it away. Coming across as Paxman, almost grabbed hold of it. Falls to Atkins. Atkins onto his left foot and hooked it too far. So another point to Fitzroy. 9-10-64. And Fremantle well on top at 16-15.
So the Lions are going to slump to their 10th successive defeat. We'll probably wrap up the wooden spoon for them. McGovern, former Sydney Swan, pokes it in short. Absolutely no contest here for Leach. He now goes out wide and out of bounds, beating Gilbert. And we'll have a boundary throw in. It's been a smallish crowd here today at Subiaco Oval for the Dockers and Fremantle. But pretty exciting when the Lions made a good start and kicked 3 goals to 1 in the first quarter to lead at quarter time. And since then it's been all the Dockers. Allen, the skipper, across the ground. They just put it out into space and say to their teammates, well, show us your pace. And all day they've had the pace. Retzlaff hardly even need a shower tonight after this game. Hawkins to Atkins. They did that for Footscray plenty of times. Here's Wills for the Dockers. Beats the tackler. Andrew Wills off the left inside the 50. Chisholm couldn't take the mark. It's there for White. Oh, great little kick. Durkay on the run. Will cap it off. Well done, Jeff White.
What an excellent give by Jeff White. A fine young talent he is. He has marked well today, now being able to work very well at ground level with this. The little left footer. And Gary Durkay giving the run. Opened the day with the first goal onto the game and quite possibly has kicked the last goal of the game.
So 53 points the margin and 15 seconds left in the game. Any more for the Dockers? Atkins has it for Fitzroy. His kick out wide towards half-forward flank. Paxman after it. Gathers the bouncing ball. Short pass, Hawking, who's kicked 3. Comes to a dead end there. Time's up. Full time. Fremantle have triumphed, breaking a 7-game losing streak. And the Dockers, who promised so much in the first half of the season, went on a slump, but came back here today to display their open running best against the Lions. Warm conditions. Doug Hawkins, the veteran, playing his 347th today. Didn't get too much of the ball. There he is with a youngster, Jeff White. And down on the boundary line, we haven't heard much of him today, but here he is, Dwayne Lamb.
Thanks, Drew. Yeah, I am here, and I'm with Big Spider Burton. Spike, congratulations, mate. Good to be back in the winning circle.
Yeah, it's just good to be back playing, Fatty, I can tell you that. It was good, mate. It's been 7 weeks without winning, so we really set ourselves for a big game today.
So is it coincidental that you're back in the team and they've had a win?
I won't say that. Good on Jimmy.
But it was good. I think in the last couple of weeks the boys have looked a lot freer in their playing. They're attacking the ball and playing like they were at the start of the year.
Yeah, we just haven't been able to put it together for the 4 quarters, and even today, that first quarter, we're pretty ordinary, but the last 3 quarters we played all right today.
Congratulations, mate. Obviously the back line sort of set it up, but it was good all over the ground.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good team effort. Yeah, we're pretty happy.
All right, enjoy it. There'll be a few beers, I suppose.
We'll wait and see, Fatty.
Thanks, mate.
Well, he is a cult figure, isn't he, Spider Burton? And he was absolutely excellent today. 5 marks and 16 possessions for Burton. And he kicked a goal. And the Dockers are going to do a lap for their fans. So that's well done. And they're applauding the fans who've come to see them. They've gone through some hard times recently, but are now back in business. And it was a big win by 52 points over Fitzroy at Subiaco Oval. The final score, Fremantle 17-15, 117 to Fitzroy 9-10-64.
9 days of World Championship